Kris, it's the first time we're getting to speak to you ahead of pre-season. Pre-season starts on Monday, just a few days away. How excited are you about getting the players back in as we build up to a new exciting campaign?
Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it. It's a fresh campaign. I think that's the key. You come in with a fresh mentality. Everybody gets ready to go. Players generally come back really looking forward to get through pre-season, because they know that it's the start of a new campaign where they can, kick off from the start. Really strong. They want to be getting into the season as confident as they can, and off the back of last season, I don't see why that shouldn't be the case.
This is your first pre-season as a manager. You've done countless as a player. Are you starting to discover that your phone gets a lot hotter during the summer when you're a manager, when as a player you could be relaxing, putting your feet up?
Yeah, it's the complete opposite. I think for me, the players will have enjoyed a few weeks off. They'll have been on holiday and put their feet up and switch the phone off. I've probably been the opposite. My phone's been non-stop, but I think we've all tried to get that wee bit of downtime. But it's for myself and the coaches. It's not as relaxed as it would be for the players. But that's the job. I've enjoyed it, and we're making headway, which is a good thing.
It's the nature of football that every summer players leave, players stay, new players arrive, and we've had plenty of business in terms of departures, but we've also had some really significant re-signings. How pleased are you with the business you've done so far, and can you talk us through it a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Obviously we wanted to keep as many of those players as we could. Sometimes the draw of the Premier League, for instance, is just too much for players, and we weren't too far away. We gave it a right good go, but the Premier League was a draw for some, and also for the others, bigger clubs with much bigger budgets that you can't compete with. So I think we gave it as good a go as we could. But when I look at the board and the players that we've retained, Sneddon signing on I think is fantastic. Aero, Banzo, these are guys who have played a number of games at the football club. They know the club inside out. They've had a big impact as well. And then you look at guys like James Lyon, who I think for James, this is the year he shows exactly why he's a first team player. He's been around the first team for a couple of years now. Now's the time for him to hopefully nail down that squad place and get in the team, because he's got the attributes we want. He's a fantastic boy as well. We've got Mason as well. 3 good goalkeepers there between Sneds, Mitch and Mason. I like the group. I spoke to the goalkeepers previously. I like that group. I think the way they work, the dynamics amongst the group, they get the best out of each other. That's why I wanted to keep them together, because I think even on a daily basis they work well together, and like I said, they drive each other on, and that's what we want. If Partick Thistle are going to be what we want them to be, then we have to have players driving each other on, and that's what I see in the goalkeeping section, and that's what hopefully we'll see throughout the rest of the squad as well.
The most recent bit of news we've had on the re-signing front is the contract extension to Brian Graham. Brian already had 12 months to go. What made you so keen to tie him down for 2 years? Yeah,
Brian's a big player for us, and I think you see the number of goals he scores. Goal scorers are worth their weight in gold. There'll always be teams trying to steal them off us, and I think as a club, and I spoke to Brian about it as well, we have to protect the assets we have. We can't just allow teams to jump in and take our biggest assets at times. So and looking through the rest of the team as well, hopefully that sets a bit of precedence that Brian's willing to commit. He didn't want to go anywhere else. I spoke to Brian, we had an upfront conversation. Brian, as you know, loves the club, wants to stay, and I'm hoping then that shows other players, that this is a club that's going somewhere, and I'm sure that the other players will see that. I know that they feel like that as well. So I think it was a good statement, but I think it's about showing that we will protect assets. That's part of my plan, is that we protect the assets we have, and we'll try and bring in some assets as well who longer term will benefit the club. We've got to be a club where we protect what's already here and look further down the line, and not just from season to season. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put that strategic plan in place, and sometimes you've got to be selective in the way we go about it, who we bring in, but ultimately the guys that are here are already assets to this football club. So we start now working our way through those as well, and delighted that Brian was the first one who jumped to put his name down in the bit of paper. So we now know we've got him, and like I said, that's another asset ticked off the list that we know will be here to look after this club.
We've got a good core to a team. We need to obviously add more players to it. How is your search going on to bring new talent to the football club?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, we've got things going on here and everywhere, as you can imagine. I think every manager I've spoken to always say the same things, that the transfer window feels like it's so frantic, but yet it feels so slow in terms of, you know, getting things done. But for me, I'm happy with the way we're going, and the things that are to come. I'm happy with, and I'm excited about, and hopefully, you know, as the window progresses, things will move. But to me, you know, it is an exciting time, and the ones we've tied down already, I think will then encourage others to come along to the club. But you know, the new signings that we have sort of lined up to come in, hopefully, are again exciting in terms of they're people who want to be at this football club, and that's what we want. I want guys who come in who want to be at Partick Thistle, who want us to get better, and who we can make better. So yeah, it's exciting, and but it's a long window. I understand that it's a long window, and to get the players you want, sometimes you have to be patient, because you know they belong to other clubs, so we can't just rush in and grab these players. We have to be patient. We've been told that. We've told the players, you know, if we're interested in them, that they'll be a big part of this club, and everybody's been made aware of how they'll fit in. But you know, I'm happy to have that strategic plan in place and bide my time as we're going. But ultimately, we've got so much going on that, like I say, there is excitement there as well.
As we mentioned at the start, pre-season begins on Monday. What does the first week look like?
I think the first week in pre-season generally always looks the same. You know, it's not a tactical week. It's all about physical work. You know, the players will come in, they'll work hard. They understand that. That's the way it will be. Sports science tends to lead the majority of the first week in terms of dictates, you know, the intensity of things, the level the players have to work to. And I'm fine with that. You know, I like sports science. I think it's the best way for us to understand how demanding the sessions are on players, and then we can adjust the workload as we're going. So Milan, our sports scientist, has a big input in that first week. But you know, ultimately it's just great to have players back. To me, it's like, you know, we want to get everybody back together. We get back in the training pitch again. Players enjoy it. You know, as much as they hate, and they'll tell you they hate it, they actually enjoy being back. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to getting the group back, adding some to the group as well. And getting everybody starting to work in the way that we want them to work. But ultimately that first week, like I said, is more or less led by the science part of football. But I'm happy with that, because I understand that for the greater benefit of the season, they have to work like that. And after that, you know, when the games start coming, the pre-season games, that's when we can start to work more tactically as well.
We're also just a few weeks away from games as the Viaplay Cup begins, and fans are massive to what we do. The bond we created with the supporters in the last few months of last season was phenomenal, with over 1,600 season tickets sold already. How good is it for you to have that backing from the Red and Yellow Army? Oh,
it's amazing. You know, even the difference already that it's made for going out to bring in some players is huge. You know, and I look at like TGIF putting in fantastic amounts of money. This all makes a difference. You know, so fans buying season tickets at that rate, you know, 1,600 already, we are well ahead of schedule from last season. I think that's a statement. To me, that's a statement that how important this fan base is to the football club, and how willing they are to step forward and help when they've been asked at any level, at any time to help. They more than have, and in this situation is no different. You know, they were asked to step forward and help the club, and looking at the numbers, I think we can only thank them. And like I said, the TGIF as well, you know, putting in that amount of money up front and putting things, you know, in place longer term. I just think the football club shows really how connected we are, and I can only thank them, because like I said, that makes a big boost to going to get players and going forward. So a huge thank you from me personally, because it helps my job as well, but it will help the club longer term. It will help the club, and that connection will always be there. You know, we drove that last season, and we'll drive it again from the start this season, because they mean a lot to me personally, and they mean a lot to the players as well. So we love the fact that there is such a good connection, and when the games do come round, I would expect to see that connection carry on in this season, because I think I said last year, fans appreciate what the players were doing, but the players appreciate the fans, and I think that two-way appreciation is something that I'm big on, and will continue this season as well.
Kris, thanks for your time and thanks for the update.
Thank you.